Everyone, and welcome to my live stream here tonight. Going to be doing Major League Baseball game, the Dodgers and the Brewers tonight. Welcome. My name is John. You can follow me on YouTube, Sports Bonanza John. If you like my content, we'll appreciate a like and subscribe on that page. Also on Twitch tonight at Sport Guru John. And brief synopsis of my page here. I do various sports, do commentary and reactions amongst all sports. Going to be doing a lot of baseball here throughout the summer. Once football season gets underway, here in about a month and a half, going to be really kicking up this live stream page then once football season starts. So still fairly new, still getting some kinks worked out, so I appreciate it. And don't quite have the capabilities for all the graphics yet, so just bear with me there, and hopefully that'll be coming here. Well, Dodgers and Brewers tonight, and coming off the game last night. Before we begin any live stream on my page, I do start out with a prayer every night, so we're going to start doing that right now. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for watching over us, Lord, and please look over all the players and keep everybody safe tonight, and the players and fans as well, and look over us all, Lord, in Jesus' name, amen. All right, game 2 of the series, Dodgers and Brewers tonight. Brewers a blowout, 9-1 win last night. Dodgers in a little bit of a funk here. They've lost 4 in a row going in the last week here before the All-Star break. Not exactly ending the first half of the season on a big note here. Trying to get back in their winning ways. They still lead the NL West, but that lead is dwindling very quickly for the Dodgers. Meanwhile, the Brewers sit in second place in the National League Central behind the Cubs right now, as the Brewers have been red hot since about mid-June, as they are chasing the Cubs for first place in that National League Central division. Looking at the World Series odds coming in here, the Dodgers still the favorite to win the World Series, but that lead is dwindling. The Detroit Tigers, a game I did last night, the Rays and Tigers. Tigers, to me, looking like the best team in baseball right now. They are second right now, so the Dodgers trying to correct things here going into the final week here before the All-Star break, as they have game 2 tonight in Milwaukee. As the game goes on tonight, we'll keep you updated on the other Major League Baseball scores. Full slate in Major League Baseball tonight, so we'll keep you updated on those scores as well. Of course, I mentioned the Brewers last night, a blowout 9-1 win in game 1 of this series. Andrew Vaughn, who was just acquired by the Brewers from the White Sox this past weekend, went deep in his first at bat as a Milwaukee Brewer, as the Brewers look to continue their red-hot ways here, as the Dodgers look to get out of their funk that they are in right now. One of the best ballparks in Major League Baseball right there in Milwaukee, American Family Field in Milwaukee, home of the Brewers. Brewers have been really the kings of the National League Central over the last few years, but currently in second place right now. National League Central, actually one of the better divisions in baseball. I don't think anybody foresaw that before the season started. There's about actually every team in that division still has playoff aspirations. There's a couple teams that are back there that are going to have to get on some kind of winning streak in the second half of the season, but still all 5 teams really postseason aspirations in the National League Central. Not normally the National League Central you would think is one of the better divisions in baseball. But the Cubs and Brewers, very good teams. Cardinals in a little bit of a funk right now, but they're still over 500. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, of course, the defending World Series champions, still looking like a good team, have just hit this funk here. A 4-game losing streak coming into this game tonight, as they were swept at home this past weekend by the Houston Astros there in Los Angeles, as they are just about getting set for the first pitch in Milwaukee between the Dodgers and the Brewers. Clayton Kershaw is taking the mound for the Dodgers tonight to try and get the Dodgers back into their winning ways. As Kershaw enters this game with a 3.43 ERA, just his 10th start of the season. Of course, he started the season late after being out the first part of the season, but he is getting the start tonight for the Dodgers. On the mound for the Brewers tonight will be Jacob Misiorowski. Get the start for the Brewers tonight, Jacob Misiorowski. He comes in with a 3.2 ERA on the night. As the Dodgers and Brewers just about set to get underway. For any first-time viewer, I did live streams during the Pacers Thunder series, NBA series. But for any first-time viewers, I do want to point out my stream is a little bit behind with the TV provider I have. So it's going to be a little bit delayed from the live action, but unfortunately, there's not really much I can do about that. But there will be that slight delay here. As the big bat Shohei Ohtani is going to lead this game off for the Dodgers. 30 home runs on the year for Ohtani. Sorry, folks, getting these pop-up ads here. All right, Jacob Misiorowski on the mound, as mentioned, for the Brewers, 3-1 on the year. This is his 5th start of the season. Pitched shy of 20 innings. He has not pitched a whole lot this year as well. But he is getting the start on the mound for the Brewers tonight. As we are just about set to get things going in Game 2 of this series between the Dodgers and the Brewers. And here is Ohtani leading off. And underway in Milwaukee, first pitch to Ohtani is right down the middle for strike one. .56 RBIs on the season for Ohtani with that .280 batting average. Ohtani swings through that one on a low one, and it's quickly 0-2. Misiorowski gets set to deliver the 0-2 to Ohtani. And here is Misiorowski's 0-2. Ohtani sends it in the air to center, and Ohtani on the first at bat of the game has gone deep to center field, and the 31st of the season for Ohtani, and a lot of Dodger fans in attendance. They love it, and they love their Shohei Ohtani. And 3 pitches into the game, the Dodgers lead 1-0. RBI number 57 for Ohtani on the season to go with his 31st home run. That was straight away center field. That was a bomb from Ohtani. As Mookie Betts will now be the batter. Betts fouls it back for strike one. That was an absolute blast from Shohei Ohtani. Everybody knew it right when it left the bat. 0-1 to Mookie Betts is off the plate for ball one. Betts on the season hitting .249. And Misiorowski's 1-1 pitch to Betts on the way. And Betts hits it foul out of play, 1-2. Mookie Betts hitting second in the Dodger lineup tonight. He's got 11 home runs. He's drove in 44 on the year. And the 1-2 pitch on the way from Misiorowski to Mookie Betts. Swing and a miss. Betts goes down swinging. And the first strikeout of the night for Misiorowski. And Freddie Freeman will now be the batter for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman hitting over 300 on the season at .307. 10 home runs for Freeman. He's drove in 47. And the pitch to Freddie Freeman is right there on the outside corner, strike one. Another good crowd on hand in Milwaukee tonight on a Tuesday night. And check swing to third, but Freeman went around, and Freeman's down 0-2. Freeman fouls it off. (0-2 pitch, another 0-2 on the way to Freeman. A swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mizorowski. 2 down in the inning. And that will bring up the cleanup hitter for the Dodgers, Andy Pages. Pages, the cleanup hitter, a .288 hitter. 17 home runs. He's drove in 58 on the season. Pages fouls it back for strike 1. So Mizorowski able to come up with back-to-back strikeouts after that leadoff home run this inning in the top of the first for Shohei Ohtani. The 0-1, low, 1-1. Mizorowski's 1-1 pitch to Pages. Swing and a miss. Pages went after one outside of the zone, and it's 1-2. Mizorowski's gotten these Dodger batters to swing at a couple pitches out of the strike zone. And he has Pages down in the count of 1-2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch on the way from Mizorowski to Pages. And Pages fouls it off right side, and that will reach the seats. It'll stay 1-2. Vaughn thought he might have had a play on that, but it did hit out of play. And we'll do another 1-2 pitch. Another 1-2 pitch on the way to Pages. Right down the middle, strike 3. Mizorowski strikes out the side after the Ohtani home run. As we go to the bottom of the first, as the Brewers will step up for the first time, Dodgers leading this game 1-0. And we will, as mentioned, see Clayton Kershaw on the mound tonight for the Dodgers. Be making his 10th start of the season. 4-0 so far on the year for Kershaw. ERA sitting at 3.43 on the season. As he will face a red-hot Brewers team right now and a red-hot Brewers lineup. And we'll get you updated on some of the other Major League Baseball scores tonight. A full slate going on in Major League Baseball tonight. They were in a little bit of a weather delay in Baltimore, but they have gotten underway. Mets and Orioles scoreless after 2 in Baltimore. Rays and Tigers. Rays lead this game 2-1, bottom of the 5th in Detroit. Mariners, Yankees, 0-0, bottom of the 3rd at Yankee Stadium. Rockies and Red Sox scoreless in the bottom of the 3rd. Marlins and Reds tied at 1, top of the 3rd. And just underway, the Cubs and Twins, the Pirates, Royals, and the Blue Jays and the White Sox. They're in a rain delay in St. Louis between the Nationals and the Nationals and the Cardinals, rather. But here we will see this Milwaukee lineup for the first time. Milwaukee's been red hot since mid-June, as they have gained some significant ground in the NL Central on the first place Chicago Cubs. Brewers, the second place team in the division behind the Cubs. Dodgers still leading the NL West despite this current 4-game losing streak. Trying to get out of that funk here tonight. Sal Frelick will be the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the first for the Brewers against Clayton Kershaw. Frelick hitting .294 on the season. 6 home runs. He's drove in 36. And the first pitch of the bottom of the first is there at the knees for strike one. Kershaw, 32 strikeouts on the season compared to just 14 walks. And quickly 0-2 on Frelick, as two at the knees there on the first two pitches from Kershaw. And here comes the quick 0-2 pitch as Kershaw works in a hurry on the mound. That's too low, 1-2. One-two pitch on the way from Kershaw to Frelick. Frelick fouls it away, and we'll do it again. Kershaw's 1-2 to Frelick. Frelick fouls this one back and out of play, and we'll do another 1-2 pitch. Correction, not out of play. It's caught by the catcher. I beg your pardon, for the first out. And here will be the number 2 hitter in the Brewers lineup, William Contreras, Brewers catcher. Hitting just .236 on the season, has 6 home runs, has drove in 35. And Contreras takes right down the middle for strike one. Oh, 1 from Kershaw to Contreras. That's low and outside, a ball and a strike. Kershaw works very quickly on the mound as Contreras takes time. And the 1-1 from Kershaw to Contreras. Down low, 2-1. Kershaw's 2-1 pitch on the way to Contreras. Contreras fouls it off, and it will be 2-2 now. Counts even. Kershaw's 2-2. Contreras bounds that one to third. That's going to be a tough play, and it will stay fair. So Contreras has an infield single. Rojas looked at that ball hoping it would go foul, but it did not. And Contreras has a one-out infield single for the Brewers, and it will bring up the Brewers' hits leader now in Jackson Chourio. Chourio, a .260 hitter, 15 home runs. He's drove in 55 on the year. Kershaw, the pitch to Chourio, a swing and a miss, strike one. Chourio's 1-0, or Kershaw's 1-0-2 Chourio is a little off the plate, 1-1. Not a big lead at first base for Contreras. Not really a stolen base threat as Chourio takes strike two. Contreras does have 5 steals on the season. Kershaw gets set for the 1-2 pitch to Jackson Chourio. Runner at first, 1 out for the Brewers. Down a run here in the bottom of the first. Kershaw's 1-2. Churio fouls at third base side. We'll do it again. Contreras, another very short lead off first base. Kershaw delivers the 1-2. Churio pops it in the air on the infield, and the catch made there for the second out by Freddie Freeman. 2 down for the Brewers here in the first, and they'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Yelich. Christian Yelich hitting .260, 18 home runs. He's drove in 63 on the year. It'd be up to him to keep the inning alive for the Brewers here with 2 outs. Strike 1. Oh, 1 from Kershaw to Yelich. Instead, a throw over to first base. Kershaw looks and delivers the 0-1 to Yelich. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's grounded to first. Freeman with the play, and that does it in the bottom of the first for the Brewers. They get a 1-out single, but nothing doing out of it. We've played an inning in Milwaukee. It is 1-0 Dodgers over the Brewers on the Shohei Ohtani home run. Couple updates from those Major League Baseball scores. Tigers have come back to tie the Rays in the 5th inning, 2-2. I did that Rays-Tigers first game of the series last night on my stream. A game won by the Tigers 5-1. The Marlins have broke out for 5 in the 3rd against the Reds. They now lead that game 6-1. Twins put up 2 in the bottom of the 1st against the Cubs. Twins lead that game 2-0 after 1. About to get underway in Houston between the Astros and Cleveland, game 2 of that series. And several games out west. AL West battle Rangers and Angels. Diamondbacks and Padres, a battle in the NL West. Phillies and Giants in the Bay Area, and the Braves and the A's in West Sacramento later. And the Orioles have scored in the bottom of the 3rd against the Mets, so the Orioles have a 1-0 lead in that game. Mariners and Yankees still scoreless top of the 4th. Rockies and Red Sox still scoreless through 3.5. And the Marlins with a 6th run in the 3rd inning. They now lead at 7-1 over the Reds. But here the Dodgers in the top of the 2nd inning will send 5, 6, and 7 to the plate. As it will be Conforto to lead off the 2nd inning for the Dodgers. Conforto struggling a bit at the plate this year as he's hitting just 178 on the season. 7 home runs, he's drove in 21. And the first pitch of the top of the 2nd is a strike down the middle to Conforto. Oh, 1 pitch from Mizorowski to Conforto. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. 0-2 pitch on the way from Mizorowski to Conforto. Strike three at the knees, and Forto looks at it, and his struggles at the plate continue. 4 outs, all via the strikeout for Mizorowski. 1 down in the inning. As it will now bring up for the Dodgers the number 6 hitter, Haesung Kim. And he takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Kim hitting .337 on the season. This is 44th game of the year. One-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Boy, Mizorowski is bringing it on the mound ever since that leadoff home run to Ohtani. Time called at the plate before the 0-2 pitch. Kim gets back in the box, and the 0-2 pitch from Mizorowski. Swing and a miss. The 5th strikeout for Mizorowski. 2 down in the inning. And it'll bring up the Dodger catcher, Dalton Rushing. Rushing appearing in just his 23rd game of the year. And he swings through the first pitch. Oh, 1 pitch. A swing and a miss. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Mizorowski as American Family Field fans wanting another strikeout. Here's the 0-2. Down low, 1-2. One and two. And the pitch. That's hit into right field for a base hit. Rushing aboard with a 2-out single for the Dodgers here in the second. Their second hit. Inning continues for the Dodgers for James Outman. Dodgers center fielder. Hitting .143. This just his 11th appearance of the year. Outman is 4 for 28 on the season, but 2 of his 4 hits are home runs. And Outman takes inside for ball 1. A 1-0 pitch from Mizorowski. Foul back. Mizorowski gets set for his 1-1 pitch to Outman. Outman fouls it away, 1-2. So again, Mizorowski ahead of a hitter here. As Outman's behind 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Strike three at the knees. 6 strikeouts for Mizorowski. Every out recorded is via the strikeout. Dodgers squander the 2-out single. And it stays 1-0 Dodgers as we head to the bottom of the second inning in Milwaukee. Boy, Mizorowski is bringing it. My live streams will continue this weekend, either Saturday and or Sunday, depending on schedule and all and how everything plays out. It's probably going to end up being Saturday evening. The evening games are the best for me, and I do not believe there's a Sunday night baseball game this week because of the All-Star break coming up after Sunday's games. We'll have to see how the schedule goes. Look to probably be back with you for another live stream on more than likely Saturday evening, but we'll see how that goes. Work schedule and everything, how that conflicts, but we'll see how that goes. Brewers get set to bat in the bottom of the second, trailing 1-0. The only run of the game so far, the Shohei Ohtani leadoff home run in the top of the first inning. A couple of updates on the score. Royals have scored in the bottom of the second, so they lead the Pirates 1-0. Still in a delay in St. Louis, Nationals and Cardinals. Of course, the Nationals over the weekend having a disastrous year themselves. Over the weekend, of course, the Nationals relieving manager Dave Martinez and the GM Rizzo, his first name escapes me right now, but getting relieved of their duties. Miguel Cairo named as interim manager for the remainder of the season for the Nationals. Nationals were thinking they were going to start to get that turned around over there in D.C., but it just has not happened. It has been another disastrous season there in the nation's capital for the Nationals. And they made a change in both the GM and the managerial side. Bottom of the second here for the Brewers, and leading it off for the Brewers here in the bottom of the second, as it's now 0-2 the count. Collins is the batter here. My apologies here for the Brewers. Isaac Collins. Left fielder hitting .268. 0-2 pitch from Kershaw. Swing and a miss. Collins went after a low one and strikes out. And there's the first out here at the bottom of the second. And it brings up Bryce Terang now for the Brewers. Terang, a .280 hitter on the season. 5 home runs. He's drove in 38. Pitch to Terang right there down the middle. Strike one. Outside, 1-1. Brewers mentioned acquired Vaughn from the White Sox. Their normal first baseman, Rhys Hoskins, out for looks like about 6 weeks with his injury, as that's fouled back from Collins. It's now 1-2. So a big loss there for the Brewers with Rhys Hoskins getting sidelined. 1-2 pitch from Kershaw to Collins is strike 3 at the knees. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the second for Kershaw. And the batter with 2 outs will be Andrew Monasterio. Pitch from Kershaw to Monasterio, little off the plate, ball 1. Excuse me, Bryce Terang is the batter, number 7 hitter. And Terang takes a strike. I was a batter ahead of myself on the lineup here. Terang hitting .280 on the season. And strike 2. It's 1-2 now to Bryce Terang. Kershaw working quickly again. The 1-2 to Terang is bounced to first. Freeman will take it himself. And the Brewers retired in order in the second. End of 2 in Milwaukee. Dodgers lead this game 1-0. That Shohei Ohtani first inning home run is held up to this point through the first 2. And the Dodgers will send 9-1-2 to the plate here in the 3rd inning. So we will see Shohei Ohtani bat second here in the top of the 3rd. And this is the next to last series for both these teams before the All-Star break. Dodgers have this series in Milwaukee, and they will close out. I say the first half of the season. It's not really first half of the season. It's well past the halfway point as far as games go. The Dodgers will be in San Francisco against their arch rival Giants to close out the first half of the season. The Brewers will stay home and host Washington for their last series before the All-Star break. And the All-Star game, of course, coming up Tuesday night, home run derby on Monday. They are underway in Houston, Astros and Cleveland. Second game of that series. Orioles continuing to lead the Mets 1-0. That game's in the bottom of the 4th. Rays and Tigers 2-2. Bottom of the 6th in Detroit. Mariners and Yankees still scoreless. They are heading to the top of the 5th in the Bronx. Rockies and the Red Sox 0-0 through 4 at Fenway. Marlins still continuing to lead the Reds 7-1. That game's in the top of the 4th. Twins 2-0 over the Cubs, top of the 3rd. Royals continue to lead the Pirates 1-0. That's through 2. They're in Kansas City. So top of the 3rd inning in this one. It'll be Miguel Rojas leading off the Dodgers' 3rd inning. Number 9 hitter. Playing third base tonight for the Dodgers, and Rojas takes strike 1. Rojas, a .238 hitter, 4 home runs on the season. Mizorowski's 0-1 pitch coming to Rojas. Rojas lines that one into left center field. That's a base hit. That's going to go all the way to the warning track. Rojas rounding first and is into second, standing up with a leadoff double here in the 3rd for the Dodgers. Miguel Rojas gets an extra base hit to lead off the 3rd, and it will get to Ohtani. Rojas with his 6th double of the season. And here is that man, Shohei Ohtani, who went deep on the 3rd pitch of the game in the 1st inning. Ohtani was swinging for the fence again, but came up empty. Strike 1. Mizorowski coming right after Ohtani, and Ohtani fouls it back. It's 0-2. Ohtani is one of those, though, if you don't get a home run, you do have a good chance of striking him out. He has struck out 104 times on the season. And the 0-2 from Mizorowski. Fouled away. We'll do it again. I applaud Mizorowski here after giving up that home run, 3 pitches to him in the first inning. He is coming right after him again. Mizorowski's 0-2 pitch to Ohtani. Outside. 1-2. One-two pitch on the way to Ohtani from Mizorowski. Fouled again. Good battle here. One-two pitch. Down low, 2-2. Mizorowski's 2-2 pitch to Ohtani. Grounded foul, and this will be the 8th pitch now of the at-bat coming up. Rojas after the leadoff double, standing at second, not a big lead. And the 2-2 pitch from Mizorowski to Ohtani. He got him. Yeah. Chased a curveball in the dirt, and Ohtani strikes out, and that is number 7 for Mizorowski. Ohtani strikes out for the 105th time this year. 1 down in the inning, and it brings up Mookie Betts, who was one of the 7 strikeout victims against Mizorowski. Betts takes inside, ball 1. Mizorowski's 1-0 pitch to Mookie Betts. Strike 1. One pitch to Betts. Little low, 2-1. That was close. Rojas still standing at second after that leadoff double, and the 2-1 pitch. Ripped foul, third base side. This is a pretty good play there by the ball boy down the third baseline. That was a rocket. Ball boy made a pretty good play on that one. Two pitch from Mizorowski to Betts. Betts in the air to center, hit pretty well, going back on the track, and the catch made in center field. Jackson Churio with the catch. Rojas tags and goes to third, and that is the first out recorded that was not via the strikeout. Two down in the inning for Freddie Freeman. Mookie Betts just missed one there. Hit to the deepest part of the ballpark in center field. Contreras going out to have a word with his pitcher. Here before this at bat for Freddie Freeman. who also struck out his first time up. Runner at third, 2 out for the Dodgers, leading 1-0 here in the third. The pitch on the way to Freeman is foul for strike one. Freeman takes inside on the 0-1. It's now 1-1. Mizorowski looks in, and the 1-1 pitch to Freeman. Inside again, 2-1. Rojas standing at third with 2 outs. Dodgers try not to waste that leadoff double from Rojas here in the top of the inning. 2-1 pitches down low, and it's now 3-1. Pages is on deck. Here comes the 3-1 to Freddie Freeman. Called strike at the knees. Freeman thought it was ball 4. He was starting to trot down to first base. But instead, it's a full count. The payoff 3-2 pitch to Freeman from Mizorowski. Swing and a miss. He got him. 8th strikeout for Mizorowski. The Dodgers strand Rojas at third, and it stays 1-0 Brewers, trailing by a run as we head to the bottom half of the third. Update on some of these scores. The skies have opened up over the Bronx at Yankee Stadium, so the Mariners and Yankees are now in a rain delay in the Bronx. 0-0 in the 5th. Orioles continue to lead the Mets 1-0. That game's in the bottom of the 5th at Camden Yards. Rays and Tigers 2-2, top of the 7th. Rockies and Red Sox 0-0, bottom of the 5th at Fenway. Marlins continue to lead the Reds 7-1. That game's in the bottom of the 4th. Twins 2-0 over the Cubs, bottom of the 3rd. The Royals lead the Pirates 1-0, end of 3 in Kansas City. Blue Jays, first place Toronto Blue Jays lead 1-0 over the White Sox on the south side in the 3rd. Still in a rain delay in St. Louis, Nationals and Cardinals. Cleveland with 2 in the top of the 1st in Houston. They lead the Astros 2-0. And here it is a 1-0 lead for the Dodgers as we are set to go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Shohei Ohtani's first inning home run has held up for the Dodgers to this point. Brewers will have 8, 9, and 1 coming up in the bottom of the inning. As now it will be Andrew Monasterio leading it off in the bottom of the 3rd for the Brewers. Monasterio, a .216 hitter on the season. Final game of this 3-game series tomorrow between these two teams. Brewers winning the opener 9-1 last night. Big crowd on hand at American Family Field on the Tuesday night in Milwaukee. Kershaw deals underway in the bottom of the 3rd to Monasterio, strike 1. Monasterio drills one to left. Back it goes to the wall, just shy of the wall on the warning track. It's caught out there in left field by Conforto. And Monasterio just missed his 2nd homer of the year. And it'll bring up the Brewers shortstop, Joey Ortiz. Ortiz, a 209 hitter on the season. Kershaw's pitch is at the knees. Strike 1 to Ortiz. Top of the order, Frelick on deck for the Brewers. That pitch down low, 1-1. One pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 from Kershaw. Bounce to third. And the play made over there for the second out. As Rojas throws out Ortiz for the second out. We're back to the top of the order in Sal Frelick. Frelick, the Brewers' leader in batting average, coming in. Frelick takes inside for ball 1. Frelick fouls it off first base side. Now a ball and a strike. Kershaw's 1-1 to Frelick. Frelick right back up the middle. Fielded there by Betts, and the throw to first, and a 1-2-3 bottom of the third for the Brewers. We've played 3 in Milwaukee. It's the Dodgers 1 and the Brewers nothing. Has 3 in the books here very, very quickly in Milwaukee. Dodgers will send 4, 5, and 6 up to the plate here in the top of the 4th inning. Blue Jays have put up 3 more in Chicago. They now lead the White Sox 4-0 in the third. Pirates have tied up the Royals in the fourth, 1-1. But here we got a good pitcher's duel through 3 innings here. 1-0 lead for the Dodgers. The Shohei Ohtani first inning home run, the only run of the game so far through 3 innings in Milwaukee. Brewers try to return to postseason play. Of course, NL Central champions. Last season kind of had a sour taste in their mouth as they were eliminated very quickly in the postseason. Looking to get back to postseason play once again. Looks like the second half of the All-Star break is going to be a battle between them and the Cubs in the Central. But as I mentioned, National League Central, pretty competitive division this year. A division that I believe has a chance to send 3 teams to postseason play this year. Yet the NL East sent 3 teams to the playoffs last year. Don't think that's going to be the case this year. The Braves, that 3rd team out of the East last year, along with the Phillies and Mets. Braves really struggling right now, and they had that bad start to the season as well. So not a great year down there in Atlanta for their standards. Here we go in the 4th inning in this one. Andy Pages leads it off for the Dodgers, and he takes outside for ball 1. Pages, one of 8 strikeout victims against Mizorowski. 8 of the 9 outs he's recorded have been via the strikeout. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. Pages lines it right to the shortstop. Ortiz with the first catch in the first out here in the fourth. And it'll bring up Michael Conforto. Michael Conforto also a strikeout victim his first time up. Conforto takes high for ball one. Mizorowski at 54 pitches right now here in the fourth inning. Comes the 1-0 pitch. And that's a little high, 2-0. Second time through the lineup. Let's see if the Dodgers can figure out Mizorowski a little bit better the second time around. It's 3-0 now. The first time anybody's had a 3-ball count against Mizorowski tonight. With a 3-0 count, Conforto probably going to take at least one pitch here. And there's a strike taking all the way as it hit the outside corner, 3-1. Let's see if Conforto has a green light now after taking that last 3-0 pitch. The 3-1 swings away, and it's now full as Conforto fouls it off. Full count pitch on the way from Mizorowski to Conforto. The deal. Got him. Battle back from 3-0 to striking out. And the 9th strikeout for Mizorowski tonight. And it will bring up now with 2 outs. Haesong Kim. Kim swings and misses. 100 miles an hour on the fastball. Oh, 0-1 pitch for Mizorowski. It's now 0-2 as Kim fouls it off. Kim looks, and the 0-2 pitch from Mizorowski on the way to Kim. Lifted in the air, foul. Is it playable? It is not. That's in the stands, and we'll do it again. Another 0-2 pitch. At the knee, strike 3. Number 10 strikeout for Mizorowski. The Dodgers done in the fourth. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. It remains Dodgers 1, Brewers nothing. Jacob Mizorowski came into the game tonight with just 21 strikeouts on the season in his previous 4 starts. He's got 10 now tonight. Only thing with Mizorowski, even though he's been bringing it, his pitch count's a little high. He's at 63 pitches right now through 4 innings. Outside of that, he has been in absolute control. Updates on those Major League Baseball scores. Tigers have taken the lead over the Rays, 4-2. Tigers lead the Rays there in the bottom of the 7th. Mets have tied up the Orioles 1-1, top of the sixth in Baltimore. Blue Jays put up another run. They now lead the White Sox 5-0 in Chicago. Astros got a run back in the bottom of the first. They trail Cleveland 2-1 after one. We are set to go to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Brewers will send up their 2, 3, and 4 hitters against Clayton Kershaw. As Contreras will lead off. He's got the only hit for the Brewers so far. He had that infield single in the first inning. Again, we're going to be bringing you a lot of baseball here in this next month and a half. Get full swing on this page once football season starts this fall. We're bringing you college and pro both here on this page. Here's Contreras leading it off here in the bottom of the fourth against Kershaw, and strike at the knees. Contreras bounces it to third, and he's going to have his second infield hit of the night. Contreras 2 for 2 on 2 balls that have not left the infield. And a leadoff single here in the bottom of the fourth will bring up Jackson Chourio. So Contreras aboard here at first to lead off the bottom of the fourth. And the Brewers' hits leader, Jackson Chourio, comes to the plate. Chourio takes strike one. That's been a low strike call, but it's been a strike all night long. The hitters are not liking that call, but it's been consistent all night. It may be a little down out of the strike zone, but it's been a consistent strike all night. Chourio into right center. That's a base hit. And the Brewers have 2 on here at the bottom of the fourth as they try to get a rally here, trailing 1-0. And it'll bring up Christian Yelich, the cleanup hitter. Jackson Chourio with hit number 100 now on the season, as the Brewers have 2 on with nobody out. Yelich grounded out his first time up against Kershaw. And Yelich takes low for ball 1. One-oh. Yelich sends it in the air to left. Playable out there in left field, and the catch made by Conforto for the first out. The runners have to hold. 1 away, and it brings up Andrew Vaughn, the newly acquired Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn, a strikeout victim his first time up against Kershaw. Chourio looks the runner, Contreras back to second, and the pitch to Vaughn is down low in the dirt, ball 1. 1-0 pitch from Kershaw to Vaughn. Vaughn sends it foul, and that will get out of play. 1-1. One. Vaughn sends it into left center field. That's going to tie the game. That's a base hit. Coming around third and scoring the tying run for the Brewers is Contreras, and it is 1-1. Churio to third. So Andrew Vaughn drives in a run for the second consecutive game for the Brewers. That'll bring up now Isaac Collins, Brewer left fielder. Collins takes high, ball one. Collins also a strikeout victim his first time. Collins threw into left field, and the Brewers take the lead as Collins drives in a run. Throw to third, and out there. So the Brewers run themselves into the second out, but they do take the lead 2-1 as Collins brings in Churio. Vaughn was thrown out there at third base trying to go from up to third on that single. As it'll bring up Bryce Terang. Terang takes inside for ball one. And that's into right field for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Collins. And once again, the Brewers have runners at the corners with 2 outs as they have gotten to Kershaw here in the 4th inning. The second time through the Brewers lineup, having success now against Clayton Kershaw. 6 hits now for the Brewers. 5 here in the inning. And it will bring up Monasterio. So Kershaw, who just giving up a run through the first 3 innings, has hit a rocky 4th inning here for him. He's given up 5 innings and 2 runs so far. And the Brewers still have 2 on with 2 out. Strike 1. And that's down low. Monasterio flew out his first time. Average now at 211 for Andrew Monasterio. Two and 1 the count. Brewers with 2 in here in the 4th, and they're looking for more as they have a runners at the corners. The 2-1 swing and a miss from Monasterio. That might have been ball 3 he swung at, but instead it's 2-2. Two-two pitch from Kershaw to Monasterio. Monasterio sends it in the air, just off the infield grass. The second baseman, Kim, there for the catch to end the fourth. But the Brewers get 2 in the inning on 5 hits and strand 2, and the Brewers take the lead as we go to the fifth, 2-1. Brewers lead the Dodgers. Mets have taken the lead over Baltimore 2-1. That game now in the bottom of the 6th. Red Sox with 4 in the inning against the Rockies. The Red Sox lead that game 4-0 now in the bottom of the 6th at Fenway. Still in a rain delay in St. Louis and still in that rain delay in the Bronx. Tigers lead the Rays 4-2 with Tigers MLB best 58 wins so far in the season. And as I said earlier, Tigers by far looking like the best team in baseball right now. And their record shows it. Here in the Dodgers' 5th inning, it will be the bottom 3 hitter, 7, 8, 9 due up for the Dodgers against Mizorowski, who's at 63 pitches, 49 of those for strikes. The Brewers winning game 1 of this series last night, 9-1. Looking to take the first 2 over the Dodgers, as the Dodgers now in a deficit for the first time in this game, trailing 2-1. Dalton Rushing leading off the 5th for the Dodgers, and strike 1. Mizorowski, 64 pitches, 50 of those for strikes. Only 14 balls thrown by Mizorowski. And he's only had 1 3-ball count to this point. It's 0-2 on Rushing as he fouls it away, first base side. Rushing, Outman, and Rojas, 7, 8, 9 for the Dodgers due up here in the 5th. And the 0-2 pitch from Mizorowski to Rushing. Up high, 1-2. One, 2 on the way, high again, 2-2. Two. Inside, and the count runs full now. Just the second 3-ball count that Mizorowski has faced tonight. Payoff pitch, strike 3. 11 strikeouts for Mizorowski. That was right there on the inside corner. Rushing didn't like it, but that looked like a pretty good pitch. One away, and here's Outman. And Outman swings through that one, strike one. If I see what I think I just saw, there's a guy on the first base side, just in that first row right behind the first base dugout there. Looks like has an old vintage Milwaukee Braves Hank Aaron jersey. What a collector's item that is. That sure looked like what he was wearing. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-2. One-two pitch on the way, swing and a miss. It's now a dozen for Mizorowski. 2 down in the inning, and it'll bring up Rojas. Rojas has one of the 3 Dodger hits, sends this one into center field on the first pitch. And the catch made out there in center field by Churio. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Dodgers in the 5th. We're halfway through it. Brewers lead the Dodgers 2-1. And what a performance as Mizorowski's gone 5. There's 12 strikeouts in the game for Mizorowski. Just gave up the one bad ball to O'Donnell that he hit over the center field wall. 74 pitches currently for Mizorowski. So the Brewers here in the bottom of the 5th, it will be 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Ortiz, Frelick, and Contreras against Kershaw. Updates. Marlins have scored again in Cincinnati with 3 more. It is now 10-1. Marlins all over the Reds in Cincinnati tonight. Back underway in the Bronx between the Mariners and Yankees. After that rain delay, scoreless in the bottom of the 5th up there in the Bronx. Orioles have come back to take a 3-2 lead over the Mets, bottom of the 6th. Tigers continuing to lead the race, 4-2, bottom 8 in Detroit. Red Sox 4-0 over a very, very much struggling Rockies team this year. That's in the top of the 7th. Twins continue to lead the Cubs 2-0. Top of the 6th in Minneapolis. Blue Jays 5-0 over the White Sox. There's a lot of people around baseball. I don't think a whole lot of people thought at this point of the season, going a week before the All-Star break, that the Toronto Blue Jays would be leading the American League East, but that's indeed the case. Great season up there for the Blue Jays so far. Can they keep it going after the All-Star break? Here for the Brewers, it's 9, 1, and 2. Ortiz to lead off here in the bottom of the 6th against Kershaw. Rocky 4th inning for Kershaw, and he's back out there on the hill. And ball 1 high. It's the 1-0 pitch to Ortiz from Kershaw. Strike 1. Again, that low's get a little down in the zone, but that's been a strike all night. John Lipka, our home plate umpire tonight, and he's been pretty consistent on that low strike call tonight. That's a little too far outside, 2-1. Two-one pitch to Ortiz from Kershaw. Swing and a miss. Ortiz swung at ball 3 down low, but instead it's 2-2. Kershaw's 2-2 to Ortiz. Ortiz rips it to left, but well foul. And another 2-2 coming. Two from Kershaw. Right back to him. Great reflexes for Kershaw off the bat of Ortiz. And that's the first out. Ortiz hit it right off the bat, and it ends up right in Kershaw's glove. 1 down. And back to the top of the order for the Brewers, Sal Frelick. Frelick 0 for 2 tonight. And ball 1. One 0 pitch to Frelick, fouled away, 1-1. Kershaw's 1-1 pitch to Frelick. Frelick fouls it off. Frelick now down a ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch from Kershaw to Frelick. Right there, strike 3. Inside corner. Frelick caught looking, strikeout number 3 for Kershaw. 2 down in the inning, and it'll bring up Contreras, who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles, and neither one of those balls has left the infield. Contreras fouls it off for strike 1. Oh, 1-1 outside. Kershaw's pitch count up to 67. Here's the 1-1 pitch. On the ground to third. And a 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the 5th for the Brewers. As Rojas makes the play over to first. We head to the 6th, top of the order, due up for the Dodgers, trailing by a run, 2-1. Ohtani will lead it off in the top of the 6th. Mizorowski at the 74 pitch mark. Will he be back out there for the 6th is the question. See if the Brewers elect to send Mizorowski back out there. Orioles have added to their lead as they've put up 4 in the 6th against the Mets. They now lead at 5-2. Still in the batting in the bottom of the 6th. Pirates have taken the lead in Kansas City, 2-1 over the Royals, top of the 7th. Cleveland has put up 3 in the top of the 3rd against the Astros. They now lead that game 5-1. Red Sox 5-0 over the Rockies. Bottom of the 7th at Fenway. So here it'll be Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman in the 6th inning for the Dodgers, trailing 2-1 to the Brewers. Looking at the updated World Series odds, Dodgers still the favorite, followed by the Tigers at number 2,
Phillies enter at the third best World Series odds right now. Yankees at 4. Still surprised they're a little high. They've hit a little bit of a funk here as well. And the Astros at number 5. Best odds World Series champions right now. So here's Shohei Ohtani leading it off in the 6th for the Dodgers. He went deep on the third pitch of the game back in the first inning and struck out his other time up. And Mizorowski is back out there for the 6th for the Brewers. First pitch to Ohtani, way outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Ohtani pops it up, fouling out of play, 1-1. There is action brewing in the Brewers bullpen, just in case Jared Koenig is warming up for the Brewers, as that pitch is inside to Ohtani, 2-1. So you get the feeling, regardless, this will be Mizorowski's last inning. He is now at 77 pitches. But what a game he has had. Outside of that one bad pitch that Ohtani took deep back in the first inning. Ohtani grounds this one foul. First base side is now 2-2. Mizorowski looks and will deal the 2-2 to Ohtani. And we'll do it again as Ohtani fouls it off. Another 2-2 coming. Pitch number 80 for Mizorowski. Up high, full count now, 3-2. Payoff 3-2 pitch coming from Mizorowski to Ohtani. Ball 4 just missed inside, and Ohtani draws a leadoff walk. First walk allowed by Mizorowski tonight. "100-mile-an-hour fastball, and that just missed inside. Mizorowski thought he had strike 3 there. Here's Mookie Betts. Take strike 1 there. Mizorowski still bringing it. 99 on that fastball. Betts 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and flown out. The 0-1 to Betts, swing and a miss. He's down 0-2. Mizorowski, 0-2 pitch coming to Betts. Low, 1-2. Tried to get Betts to chase that one. One-two coming to Betts. Betts fouls it off. Stay alive. Ohtani at first base. He's got 12 stolen bases on the season. One-two pitch. Betts sends it into right. That's going to be fielded, but no play at first base. And the Dodgers have runners at first and second with nobody out. Turang fielded that ball but had no chance to throw out Mookie Betts. And first and second for the Dodgers for Freddie Freeman. That was going out towards right field. Turang was playing more toward the second base bag, and by the time he got to that ball, he had absolutely no chance to throw out Mookie Betts at first base. And that ball, diving play at first base, and the play made for the first out, but the runners do advance to second and third. So the go-ahead run now in scoring position for the Dodgers here in the sixth for the cleanup hitter, Andy Pages. Vaughn with a nice diving play there at first base. Probably saved a run because that was going to be at least a double down the right field line. Here's Pages. Foul ball, strike one. Pages 0 for 2 on the night. He's one of 12 strikeout victims against Mizorowski. He's also lined out. Pages to third. This is going to come home, and Ohtani is out by a country mile at home plate. He was going on contact, and that was hit right to third, and it ended up an easy play at the plate, and Ohtani thrown out for the second out. Runners now at the corners. Well, that's right. Ohtani was running on contact, and that ball was fielded easily by the third baseman, and Ohtani was thrown out by a good 20 feet at home plate. It wasn't really 20 feet, but it was thrown out by a very wide margin. So now 2 out in the inning. And Michael Conforto is the batter. Conforto swings and misses for strike one. As that was Mizorowski's 90th pitch. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Dodgers down a run here in the sixth. And the 0-1 pitch from Mizorowski to Conforto. On the ground to first, Vaughn fields himself, and the Brewers get out of it. 6 strong innings for Mizorowski. The Dodgers strand 2, and it stays the Brewers 2 and the Dodgers 1 as we go to the bottom of the sixth. And that's probably the last batter and the last inning for Mizorowski, but what a night on the mound he had for the Brewers. As he makes it through 6. Gave up a run. That home run in the first inning, 4 hits, walked 1, struck out 12 in the game. Yankees have broke through for a run in the bottom of the 5th against the Mariners, so the Yankees lead that game 1-0. Red Sox now 9-0 over the Rockies. Bottom of the 7th. It's now a final from Detroit. The Tigers have taken the first 2 from the Rays. Tigers win it 4-2. The Tigers with win number 59 on the season. Continuing just their torrid first half of the season. Tigers now an MLB best 59 wins. The Rays have hit a little bit of a funk here heading to the All-Star break. They want to try to keep themselves in playoff contention. Still there, but got to get some things worked out here right after the All-Star break. Brewers here in the bottom of the 6th will send 3, 4, and 5 up. Chourio, Yelich, and Vaughn. And looking at the reaction in the dugout, it looks like Mizorowski is indeed finished for the night. 6 strong innings for him tonight. Kershaw back out there for the 6th, and it's strike 1 to Jackson Churio. Oh, 1. Churio fouls it back. 0-2 now, rather. Oh, 2 pitch from Kershaw to Churio. Low, 1-2. If the Brewers hang on here, it would be win number 4 on the year for Mizorowski as Churio fouls that back to stay alive. Mizorowski came into the season in his previous starts with 21 strikeouts total, had 12 tonight against the Dodgers. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Kershaw to Churio. Churio sends it in the air to right center. That's out there in no man's land, but getting to it. Out there is the right fielder for the first out. Pages with the catch. Looked like that was going to drop, but Pages came in charging from right field and was able to catch up to it for the first out, and it'll bring up Christian Yelich. Yelich takes ball 1. Yelich 0 for 2 on the night. One-0 to Yelk out, and Yelich is hit by the pitch. That one clearly got away from Kershaw. And Yelich is aboard with 1 out on the hit by pitch. Got him right below that right shoulder. Alex Vezia starting to loosen up in the Dodger bullpen. So this is probably going to be the last inning for Kershaw. That one clearly got away from Kershaw. So an insurance run at first for the Brewers with 1 out. As it brings up Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn 1 for 2. He drove in one of the 2 runs for the Brewers as he hits his foul. But what a start in Milwaukee Andrew Vaughn's had. RBI tonight. Hit a home run yesterday in his first at bat as a Milwaukee Brewer. Vaughn takes low here, 2-1. Two-one pitch from Kershaw is low, 3-1 now on Andrew Vaughn. Collins on deck for the Brewers. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Vaughn. That is ball 4, and the Brewers have 2 on with 1 out. For Isaac Collins. Collins 1 for 2. He drove in the other run in that 2-run fourth for the Brewers. That's the difference in the game to this point. Brewers looking for some insurance here with 2 on with 1 out. Kershaw now at 81 pitches. See if we see Dave Roberts come out of the dugout to get him, but he is not. And ball one to Collins. Kershaw struggling with his control now a little bit. A hit batter and a walk. The last two batters. And that's nowhere near either. It's 2-0. Another walk here, and you're probably going to have to pull Kershaw if you're Dave Roberts. And Kershaw looks Yelich back to second. 2-0 count here to Collins. And here's the 2-0. There's a strike down the middle. 2-1 now to Isaac Collins. Drove in his 22nd run of the year with that RBI single back in the fourth. Collins on the ground to short. That could be two. There's the second for one on to first, double play. And the Dodgers get out of the sixth unscathed. Kershaw makes it through six. We head to the seventh. Brewers lead the Dodgers 2-1. And here in the seventh inning for the Brewers, as it is the end of the night for Mizorowski on the hill, as we are going to see Jared Koenig here in the seventh inning for Milwaukee. Jared Koenig will be making his 42nd appearance on the year. It's 3-1 on the season. ERA just north of 4.04. 12 walks, 34 strikeouts, as he has pitched 35 2/3 innings this year. So the line is complete. What a start it was for Mizorowski. 6 innings, 4 hits, the 1 run on the Ohtani home run back in the first inning, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts, 91 pitches on the night, 68 of those for strikes. So a whale of a performance tonight for Mizorowski, and he stands to get the win if the Brewers can hang on here. Dodgers here in the seventh inning will send 6, 7, and 8 up to the plate. Kim, Rushing, and Outman against Milwaukee, trailing by a run, as the Dodgers wanting to come back here to avoid losing for the 5th consecutive time. Red Sox have added another run against the Rockies. It is now 10-1, or 10-0 rather. Royals have come back against the Pirates, take the lead in that game 3-2 in Kansas City, top of the 7th. Cleveland scores again against the Astros. It's now 6-1. Cleveland over Houston. So here we go into the 7th. Koenig's first pitch to Kim is ball 1, high and tight. Hee-Sung Kim leadoff batter here in the 7th for the Dodgers. Grounds it to first. Vaughn takes it himself for the first out here at the top of the 7th. 1 away for the Dodgers in the 7th, and it'll bring up Dalton Rushing, Dodger catcher. Has 1 of the 4 Dodger hits in this game. More action for the Brewers in their bullpen. It's Nick Mears warming up. And strike 1. 0-1 pitch from Koenig. In the air to right. Playable out there in right field. And the catch made for out number 2. Catch made by Frelick. And it'll bring up Outman now with 2 outs. Koenig's 2 outs on 4 pitches here in the top of the 7th inning. And Outman takes strike 1. Looks like Kershaw's evening is done. He's got the hat off on in the dugout. Probably see Alex Vezia in the bottom of the 7th. Outman tried to stop his swing but did not, and he's in an 0-2 hole. (0-2) on the way from Koenig to Outman. Fouled away. Outman stays alive on 0-2. Another 0-2 pitch on the way from Koenig to Outman. Just missed outside, 1-2. Here comes another 1-2 pitch from Koenig to Outman. On the ground to second. Over to Vaughn and a 3-up, 3-down, top of the 7th inning. Time to stretch in Milwaukee. Brewers lead at 2-1. As we head to the bottom of the 7th. And we will indeed see Alex Vezia come on to pitch for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 7th. Vezia will be making his 43rd appearance. It's 2-0. 36 innings on the season for Vezia. 50 strikeouts in 36 innings. And with an ERA of 2.75. He will face the Brewers' 7, 8, and 9 hitters. It'll be Terang, Monasterio, and Ortiz due up here in the bottom of the 7th for the Brewers. Rundown here at the bottom of the 7th. We'll run down the official baseball scoreboard right now. Top of the 8th at Camden Yards in Milwaukee, in Baltimore. Orioles lead the Mets 6-2. The Yankees have broke for 4 against the Mariners after that rain delay. Yankees now lead 4-0 in the bottom of the 6th in the Bronx. They're heading to the 9th at Fenway. Red Sox all over the Rockies 10-0. The Marlins have scored yet again against the Reds. It is now 11-1. Marlins in the top of the 8th in Cincinnati. Twins continue to lead the Cubs 2-0, bottom of the 7th. Royals lead the Pirates 3-2 in Kansas City. Top of the 8th. Blue Jays 6-0 over the White Sox, top of the 6th. Still in that rain delay in St. Louis between the Nationals and Cardinals. That game's yet to get underway. Cleveland 6-1 over Houston through 4. A final from Detroit. The Tigers have beat the Rays 4-2. Tigers now 59 wins. Later on, out in Anaheim, Rangers and Angels. And in San Diego, Padres host the Diamondbacks. Giants host the Phillies in the Bay Area. And in Sacramento, the A's host the Braves. And here we are in the bottom of the 7th. Alex Vezia on. His first pitch is strike 1. To Bryce Terang. Turang 1 for 2 on the night. Just off the corner, 1-1. One pitch on the way from Vezia. Swing and a miss by Turang. It's now 1-2. One-two pitch from Vezia to Turang. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Vezia with a strikeout. His 51st strikeout in relief this year. One down in the 7th. And here's Monasterio. Monasterio has an 0 for 2 night going for the Brewers. And takes strike 1. Vezia bringing it right down the middle here. Monasterio's flying out and popped out. Average has dropped to 205 for him. 0-1 pitch. Again, right down the middle. Strike 2. Monasterio down 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Up high, 1-2. Tried to get Monasterio to chase. Looking ahead to the Dodgers' 8th inning, it will be 9-1-2. Rojas, Ohtani, and Betts due up in the 8th inning. 1-2 is hit foul, and we'll do it again. Dodgers' 8th inning will probably be against Abner Uribe. He has become the setup man for the Brewers. One-two pitch from Vezia to Monasterio. Inside, 2-2. Two-two pitch. Way high, and the count runs full. Full count pitch is grounded foul. We'll do it again. Again, the 3-2 pitch. In the air to left, hit pretty well, but on the warning track out there in left field, the catch is made by Conforto, and there's out number 2. 2 down in the inning, and it'll bring up Ortiz now. Ortiz on the night is 0 for 2. Brewers clinging to a 1-run lead. They would like to get some insurance with Ohtani due up second in the top of the 8th for the Dodgers. Strike 1. Here comes the 0-1. Ortiz bounced right back to Vezina on the mound. He will throw over to first, and the Brewers retired in order in the bottom of the 7th. We head to the 8th. Rojas, Ohtani, Betts due up for the Dodgers. They trail this game 2-1. And we are more than likely going to see Abner Uribe on the mound here in the 8th for the Brewers. And we will. So Abner Uribe coming on to pitch for the Brewers. He is on for the 44th time. Then with a 2-1 record, 2.09 ERA. 17 walks, 58 strikeouts in 43 innings. He's become the Brewers' setup man. To try and keep this a one-run game and get it to their closer, Trevor McGill. But it's going to be against a tough lineup for the Dodgers here, as Ohtani will bat second in the top of the 8th. Two runs, 6 hits for the Brewers. 1 run, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Both teams have left 4 runners on base. Both starting pitchers went 6 innings in this game. Mizorowski, 6 for the Brewers. Kershaw, 6 for the Dodgers. Koenig an inning in relief for the Brewers, and now we see Uribe here in the 8th. Rockies are not going to get shut out at Fenway. They have put up 2 in the top of the 9th against the Red Sox. Still trail that game, though, 10-2. Pirates have tied up the Royals in Kansas City 3-3 going to the bottom of the 8th. First pitch, top of the 8th to Rojas from Uribe, strike 1. Rojas 1 for 2 with a double on the night. Oh, 1 lifted in the air to left. Playable out there, and the catch made by Collins in left field for the first out. So it will bring up Ohtani with the bases empty and 1 out. Ohtani homered in the first inning for the lone run of the game for the Dodgers. 3 pitches into the game. Ohtani swings and misses for strike 1. Looked like he was swinging for the fence again. He has also reached on a walk tonight. Oh, 1 low, 1-1. Kirby Yates loosening in the Dodgers bullpen. Probably see him come on here in the bottom of the 8th. He has also become the setup man for the Dodgers. Ohtani on the ground to second. 2 down here in the 8th. 2 away, and it'll bring up Mookie Betts. Betts has one of the 4 Dodger hits tonight. Strike 1. 0-1 from Uribe to Mookie Betts. 0-2 now as Betts fouls it away, first base side. Oh, 2 from Uribe inside, 1-2. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Brewers in the bottom of the 8th. More than likely going to be against Kirby Yates. 1-2 pitch to Mookie Betts. Outside, 2-2. Two from Uribe to Betts. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Dodgers retired in order in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Brewers lead it 2-1. As it's going to be Frelick, Contreras, and Churio in the bottom of the 8th for Milwaukee. And it is going to be Kirby Yates coming on to pitch for the Dodgers to try to keep this game where it is at a 1-run game. Kirby Yates coming on for the 33rd time. 4-2, 3.76 ERA. 8 walks, 40 strikeouts in 26 1/3 innings. Trying to keep this game where it is as he will face the top of the Milwaukee order here in the bottom of the 8th. It's now a final at Fenway. Red Sox have beat the Rockies 10-2, adding to the Rockies' struggles this year. The White Sox Major League Baseball loss record that they set last year may only last one season. The Rockies are on pace for 125 losses. White Sox set the record last year with 121. The Mets have battled back with 4 in the 8th against the Orioles. That game is now tied 6 apiece. The Yankees offense woke up after that rain delay in the Bronx. They now lead the Mariners 6-0, bottom of the 7th. Twins continue to lead the Cubs 2-0 through 7.5. Pirates and Royals 3-3 through 8. White Sox avoid the shutout. They have scored against the Blue Jays. It's now 6-1, top of the 7th. Marlins continue to just destroy the Reds tonight, 11-1 in Cincinnati. Cleveland continues to lead Houston 6-1. So Kirby Yates on to pitch. He will face Sal Frelick to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Brewers could use some insurance as they are clinging to this 1-run lead. Dodgers got their run in the first on the Ohtani home run. Brewers got their 2 in the bottom of the 4th. Yates' first pitch, Frelick shows bunt and takes inside for ball 1. Frelick an 0 for 3 night tonight. Here's the 0-1 or 1-0 rather from Yates as Frelick fouls it away. It's now 1-1. That is drilled into right center field. Back to the wall and gone. Oh, Frelick sends it out over the right center field wall. And a big insurance run for the Brewers. It's now 3-1. Sal Frelick goes deep for the 7th time this year. It's now 3-1 Milwaukee. That's it, and into left field. That's going to be a base hit for Contreras, his third hit of the night, and his first hit that actually left the infield. So the Brewers back-to-back hits against Yates here in the 8th, and it'll bring up Jackson Chourio. Chourio swings and misses for strike one. A 1 is low, 1-1. Chourio 1 for 3 on the night. He singled and scored one of the 3 Brewers runs back in the 2-run 4th inning. Chourio fouls it back, a ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch on the way to Jackson Chourio from Kirby Yates. Down low, 2-2. McGill, the Brewers closer, getting loose in the bullpen. He now has a little bit of insurance to work with in the 9th. With that home run by Frelick to extend the lead to 2. And the throw over to first to check on Contreras. Two-two pitch on the way. And another foul ball. Two-two pitch on the way from Yates to Chourio. Just missed low, and the count runs full. See if Contreras, he's not a real big stolen base threat, only 5 on the season. Let's see if he takes off from first base on the 3-2 payoff. And it is ball 4. It doesn't matter. Chourio walks. And it's first and second for the Brewers. For the cleanup hitter, Christian Yelich. Now meeting on the mound as the Brewers have gotten to Yates. A home run, a single, and a walk here in the bottom of the 8th. Christian Yelich on the night is 0 for 2. He has been hit by a pitch. First and second, nobody out for the Brewers here in the 8th. The pitch to Yelich, low and inside, ball 1. Looking ahead to the Dodgers' 9th inning, it'll be 3, 4, and 5. Freeman, Pages, and Conforto now needing at least 2 runs. Swing and a miss by Yelich on the fastball, 1-1. Yates looks on, and the 1-1 pitch to Yelich. Instead, they'll look back to second base to look Contreras back. Nick Mears has joined McGill in the Brewers bullpen. And the 1-1 from Yates is low, 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way from Yates to Yelich. That misses low, 3-1. Three-one on the way to Yelich. Fouled away, and the count runs full now, 3-2. Contreras at second. Chourio at first. Nobody out here in the 8th for the Brewers, and the 3-2 payoff pitch to Yelich from Yates. Swing and a miss, and the throw down to second and out at second base, a strike him or third base, a strike him out, throw him out, double play. There are now 2 outs as Contreras was thrown out by a mile at third base. Chourio does advance to second, but there are now 2 outs. We'll bring up Andrew Vaughn. Yelich struck out as both runners were taken off there, and Contreras was thrown out by a wide margin at third base. So now 2 outs and a runner at second for Andrew Vaughn. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Andrew Vaughn has had a good first 2 games as a Milwaukee Brewer. Homered yesterday. Drove in a run tonight in this one. The 0-1 to Vaughn. Ripped foul, and Vaughn now in an 0-2 hole. Frelick, a home run to start it off here in the bottom of the 8th for the Brewers. As they now have a 2-run lead. And the 0-2 pitch on the way from Yates to Vaughn. He got him. Up and out of the zone, and Yates gets out of it. Just giving up the 1. We head to the 9th. Dodgers need 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming up. And it's going to be the Brewers closer, Tyler McGill, coming in. As McGill will try and nail down his 21st save of the season. Comes in with a 1-2 record. 2.56 ERA. 15 walks, 38 strikeouts, and 31 2/3 innings. His 35th appearance. 20 saves on the season, looking for number 21. As he will face Freeman, Pages, and Conforto here in the 9th. as the Dodgers need 2 at least to keep this game going and try to avoid their 5th consecutive loss. Boy, the Twins have busted it open in the bottom of the 8th against the Cubs. They have scored 6 times to now lead the Cubs 8-0. Same with the Yankees. They now lead the Mariners 8-0, bottom of the 7th in the Bronx. Three of the West Coast games have gotten underway. The Angels with a run in the bottom of the 1st against the Rangers. They lead that game 1-0. Diamondbacks, Padres, Phillies, Giants scoreless bottom of the 1st. About to get underway in West Sacramento is the Braves and the A's. 2 finals already. Tigers beat the Rays 4-2. Red Sox 10-2 win over the Rockies. Mets and Orioles still 6-6. That's heading to the 9th. Pirates and Royals 3-3 heading to the bottom of the 9th. But here in this one, it's a 3-1 Brewers lead as we head to the top of the 9th. McGill needing 3 outs to preserve the Brewers, to preserve a series win for the Brewers against the Dodgers. It'll be Freddie Freeman leading it off here in the 9th for the Dodgers. Oh for 3 tonight for Freeman. Again, I plan on being back with you for a live stream Saturday night. More baseball for you. I have a lot of baseball this next month and a half until football gets underway and the tentative plan for football season. I'm going to be bringing you both college and pro. Football season gets underway. This stream will be getting in full swing in football season. Here's Freddie Freeman leading it off in the 9th. First pitch from McGill. Strike 1. Freeman with 0 for 3. His average has dipped to 304. Swing and a miss, and Freeman down 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch on the way. That's bounced up there, 1-2. Oh, 2 pitch on the way from McGill to Freeman. Bounce foul, and we'll do it again. One-two pitch, low, 2-2. Dodgers will have to get a runner on to get the tying run to the plate. Here's the 2-2 pitch from McGill to Freeman. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 100 on the fastball from McGill. 1 out in the 9th. And it'll bring up Pages. Pages has an 0 for 3 night going. And McGill comes up and in and almost hit Pages. Ball one. Little hello there to Paez. Swing and a miss. Another 100-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1. One and one, the count to Paez. And the pitch from McGill. Check swing foul. Paez didn't mean to, but it's 1-2. One-two pitch. Outside. 2-2. Two-two. Paez fouls it off. Right side. That will reach the seats. McGill's 2-2 again to Paez. Swing and a miss. And the Brewers an out away from a series win against the first place Dodgers. And it'll be up to Michael Conforto to keep the game alive. Big crowd rises at American Family Field. Conforto, last hope for the Dodgers. Strike one. Brewers look to pick up a game on the first place Cubs tonight as the Cubs are getting pounded at Minneapolis tonight. 0-1. On the ground to second. And the Brewers have won for the second consecutive night against the Dodgers, handing the Dodgers their fifth consecutive loss, a 3-1 final score. As the Dodgers could only muster that one Shohei Ohtani home run in the top of the first. A great job by Milwaukee pitching tonight to limit the Dodgers to 4 hits. And they get the 3-1 victory. And will look for the sweep tomorrow. Mizorowski gets the win for the Brewers. He's now 4-1 on the year. McGill with his 21st save on the season. Clayton Kershaw suffers his first loss of the season as he is now 4-1. A game that finished in roughly 2 hours, 20 minutes. And a big crowd on hand tonight in Milwaukee sees the Brewers win it 3-1 over the Dodgers. One more look at the scoreboard before I sign off here tonight. Mets and Orioles 6-6 in the ninth. Yankees 10-0 over the Mariners. That's in the top of the eighth. Marlins 12-1 over the Reds, bottom of the ninth. Cubs have avoided the shutout. They did get a run in the ninth, but still trail the Twins 8-1. Blue Jays and White Sox in a rain delay on the south side. Blue Jays lead that game 6-1. Still have not gotten underway from a rain delay in St. Louis between the Nationals and Cardinals. Astros coming back against Cleveland. That's now only a 6-4 game. Bottom of the sixth there. Angels lead the Rangers out west 1-0. Bottom of the second. Diamondbacks, Padres, no score. Bottom of the second. Phillies and Giants scoreless top of the second. and about to get underway in Sacramento, the Braves and the A's. Final scores: Tigers 4-2 over the Rays. Red Sox a 10-2 win over the Rockies. And, of course, here a 3-1 win for the Brewers over the Dodgers. And the Royals win it in the bottom of the ninth against the Pirates as the Royals win that game 4-3. Again, 3-1 the final here. Brewers win it over the Dodgers. Appreciate you joining me tonight, everybody. Again, I'm planning on being back with you Saturday night for a Major League Baseball game. And on this live stream, again, on YouTube, Sports Bonanza John. If you like my content, give me a like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. On Twitch tonight, Sport Guru John. Did have a game, the Rays-Tigers game. That was also on Kick last night. My Kick handle is Sports Kick John. Hope to have some more content on there as well. Appreciate you joining me, everybody. And again, I plan on talking to you again Saturday night for another live stream. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody.